All right. Boy, it's been a lot of Kanye West news. But what do you guys think of the name change? Because supposedly it's disrespectful. We learned that from the trans thing is when somebody picks a new name, like they're serious about it. So he's serious. Yay. I think Alex Jones called him Yee when he didn't call him Kanye by mistake. I think he said Yee. Yee. I like people who can't say the name correctly. I think that's good. Yeah, what did we learn today? That's the question. What did we learn? In the title, I said, is Kanye, yay, controlled opposition? I know he isn't really. He's a free acting spirit. But it is, Jack Posobiec seemed to suggest on his Twitter today that that's the role Ye is playing right now. So is it, well, there are so many questions that came up from this whole thing. If you missed it, and you might have, and this is why it's wrong that Alex Jones got kicked off YouTube. Although they'll say it's correct. That's the difference between us and them, is they want to censor everything, the interdimensional vampires of this world, they want to censor everything. So if we're up to them, Kanye wouldn't have been allowed to say anything today. If they, as a matter of fact, Ye has been allowed to speak kind of over and over and over again. And how do you think Tim Pool is feeling right now? Tim Pool is probably thinking, right? Everybody was giving Tim Pool a hard time saying Tim Pool blew it. I think I even put that in the title of my show. Did Tim Pool blow it? I didn't think so. But really, he dodged a bullet, right? I heard one of my sources who was tuned in for the after show to the Alex Jones show told me that they're worried about losing sponsors over at InfoWars. That somebody like Owen Schroyer was saying something that they're scrambling to keep sponsors after what Ye said. And I think I can play you the clips. I mean, he said outrageous things, the most outrageous thing you could possibly say. There had already been rumors that Ye liked Hitler and used to talk about it around the office. So it might have only been a matter of time before he said something about it. You know what? It does reveal, we do learn, there is something to learn from today. In case you didn't know, because it was surprising even to me to learn how many people do admire Hitler. There are many people who admire Hitler secretly. They don't tell you about it. There's somebody I wonder about who has hinted that they might like Hitler that I'm curious about. I won't say it, but people are speculating about that person. But some people do. They watch this movie. You should check it out. You should learn every part of history. I encourage people to learn every part of history and from all different sides. And so if you want to watch a documentary that tells the good side of Hitler and explains to you why Hitler was a great man and accomplished great things, you should do that. You should watch that documentary. I did. I watched a lot of it. I believe it's called The Greatest Story Never Told, or The Greatest Story Ever Told. I believe it's The Greatest Story Never Told, I believe is the name of the documentary, which is a pro-Hitler documentary. And it makes a case, you know. I think that's free speech right there. Should be allowed to make the case for Hitler, just in general. As far as free speech goes, you're supposed to support. I mean, this is when you learn about whether people really do appreciate free speech or not, or whether they're actually communists, is when people say stuff like what Ye said today, you know, and whether they say, oh, he needs to be, or Alex Jones shouldn't have had him on. Should Alex Jones have had him on? Well, it depends on how it works out for Alex Jones. A lot of people have been saying to me, oh, you should have interviewed Ye. People have been saying, you would have done a better job than Tim Pool. Some people told me, right? Just trying to butter me up. But I don't know if it's a good idea. You know, I interviewed Nick Fuentes, but very few people know about that. See, like the thing about me that I'm lucky in a lot of ways is that I'm not famous for anything, or I'm not cozying up to anybody famous, because people would say, oh, that Lift the Veil, that Nathan Stoltman, look at what he said before. You know, look at who he's hosted before. They'd be like, oh, he had on Nick Fuentes, David Icke, Isaac Happy, Alex Stein. They'd say, oh, he's a Nazi. He platformed white nationalist Nick Fuentes. But I think Nick Fuentes is a really interesting character, but I would question, and I do think it's serious to question, whether he is or acts as controlled opposition. We should look up the definition to controlled opposition before we accuse people of that. But it's interesting to think about when you think about Milo now and what he wants to do. When you think about Nick and some of the things he's done and some of the things he says and whether he believes them. And then when you think about Ye and what he has done now to everybody associated with him. See, like, I think it's okay to like Hitler. I mean, I don't want to control the way people think. Some people like Hitler. I disagree. Like, I did my research and I came to a different conclusion. But I think it's okay. Now, to say it out loud or to let anybody know that you like Hitler, that's not advisable ever in any situation, basically. But it's okay to think, I don't want to control the way people think. But it's not smart to say. That's all. You know, I hate to come down on Ye, but he's not being smart about the way he's going about things. He's not being very strategic about the way he's going about things. So I know there are people that are people already told me they disagreed with what I said about it earlier, which I don't even know what I said. I said what he said is going to put him in his grave, basically, possibly. But maybe because I didn't say, oh, he was right. Maybe because there are people who are like, Kanye is right. And that's, if you think that, I'm like, I understand. And I'm not going to say you're a terrible person. But you have to understand it's socially unacceptable. Okay. In a real way, not in a way like being unvaccinated is socially unacceptable or liking Donald Trump is socially unacceptable. Not like that, like way worse. And those things are pretty bad, right? When you think about it, saying people knowing you like Donald Trump, people knowing that you're unvaccinated, those are things that can make people think things about you, right? People knowing that you like Hitler, unironically, it's on a totally different level. And then he questioned the 6 million, which is crazy, because now they can call him a Holocaust denier, which is what they call Nick Fuentes. And as far as Nick Fuentes' Holocaust denial goes, I think it was just that joke he did about the cookies. I think, which was somebody actually wrote into him and he read the joke aloud and then made some commentary on it. It's a joke about how long it would take to bake 6 million batches of cookies. That was the joke. And I can't say anything about it except to say that when you do that officially, you become a Holocaust denier. As soon as you even question the 6 million, even if you just question it, even if you like Jews and you don't like Hitler, see, which I don't think is fair, frankly. Like, I don't think it's fair that even if you like Jews and you don't like Hitler and you denounce Kanye, you still can't question the 6 million or you're anti-Semitic. I disagree with that because I think people should be allowed to question history. So, and, but I realize that it's the way the world works, that you can't do that. And there's something wrong with the way Kanye thinks. You know, I've known that forever, whether he's bipolar or not. I think he is. There's something wrong with the way he thinks. He doesn't think like a normal person. You know, like no normal person. He obviously has trouble controlling himself from doing things that maybe he later regrets, like the Taylor Swift situation and and then there was the George Bush doesn't like black people situation, which other people probably wouldn't say, even though it was kind of cool for him to say that in a way at the time. But he doesn't act like a normal person. He says things that other people don't say. And it just so happens he decided somehow, I don't know how, that the Jews are responsible for everything. And it has to do some of it with his personal experience. But then something brought him around to liking Hitler, apparently. So something brought him around to that. And then he is hanging out. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I imagine Milo probably isn't cool with that, but I think Nick Fuentes maybe. I mean, he has said, I read the quotes about Nick Fuentes. Said, I want to be Hitler 2, Hitler 3, Hitler 4, something like that. Like he admires Hitler in some way. Apparently he had said that before. So is Nick Fuentes, I mean, is he for real? And I interviewed him, like I said, and I think he is immensely talented. Is he for real? And does he give too much material to the other side? You know, let me play my intro. Thanks for joining me. for the show. This is the live 5 o'clock p.m. show. If you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and leave me a super chat, or they call it a coffee, and you can leave a note there and I'll read it on the show. And every single video gets demonetized, every single one that I put up. I am allowed to get super chats, but it's they take much less at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And I do appreciate your support. And thanks, people have been tuning in for some of the extra videos that have been coming out. Hopefully people appreciate that. All right, let me play my intro. Thanks for tuning in. I know we're 17 minutes in. I'm playing my intro. Hold on, let me get my volume right. All right. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. I bring you the news, the real news. Yes. Really real. Really real. So real, in fact, it gets censored sometimes. Yeah, I understand what it's like to be censored. So then to be critical of people who everybody wants to censor puts me in a tough situation, right? A lot of people are just, a lot of people have been really, really supportive of Ye up until this point. What about the controlled opposition thing? Well, here's the thing now. Is everybody who supported Ye, now they get smeared, right? Like Candace Owens is trending on Twitter, even though she didn't even do anything today. She didn't say officially that she likes Hitler, but she was trending on Twitter. She hasn't tweeted yet, as far as I know. But she's trending because she's associated with Ye. And everybody now who's associated with Ye, people are going to say, oh, you're friends with a Holocaust denier, or you're friends with like a vicious anti-Semite. Now they're saying. Greenblatt from the ADL used the word vicious anti-Semite. And then it's easier to say that when he shows up in a freaking mask. I mean, it does look crazy, right? He is an artist. He is Ye. All right, I don't want people to get too confused. Yes, while I might be critical, Ye is cool. We love Ye. We want the best for Ye. We want him to be able to express himself. But he said some stuff that's really like, well, first of all, which I disagree with, which I mentioned before, which like Hitler invented the microphone he was using. Like, I don't think so, you know? So I don't know who he's learning about Hitler from, but I don't think Hitler invented anything, you know? He was like a showman, basically. Had some people around him. It was some pretty crazy stuff that went on. It was some pretty crazy stuff that went on in Nazi Germany. And not a lot of it can be described as awesome. So it's just weird. It's just weird that he said that. And now, like I said, like everybody can say, oh, you're all Nazis, or everybody who talked to Ye as a Nazi. Or now Alex Jones might have problems with his platform. because of having him on, apparently. So, yeah, let me play this part. And I have to say, like, once again, I got a strike on YouTube for some reason once for covering what Ye said. So I want to be clear. I condemn anti-Semitism and I stand with my Jewish brothers and sisters. So as long as that's out of the way, now I'll show you where he denies the 6 million. I'll play that clip for you. That'll stick with you, like Nick Fuentes did this one thing on his show, which he does hours a day, every day, where he talked about whether it was really 6 million or not. And forever, ever since then, he's been called the Holocaust denier. And Ben Shapiro went out of his way to go after him for that. And Ben Shapiro has something to say about Ye. And Ye had some, I have those for you. Ye had some jokes written by Owen Benjamin, which he read aloud on the show. So we can judge how good Owen's jokes were. So that's it. It's like he's also friends with Owen Benjamin. So Ye has been, since he got canceled, he's been friends with Alex Jones. He hooked up, he started talking to Owen Benjamin. Then Milo somehow reached out and got in touch with them. So he's talking to Milo. Milo got him hooked up with Nick. Nick always liked Ye. Nick always liked Ye, unlike Milo, who apparently didn't like him before and said he was gay. Apparently. Nick did like him and wanted to talk to him. And then then the other thing is they're, I guess, Christian nationalists. I guess they are Christian nationalists. I guess it is a Christian nationalist campaign. Right. And I reject, I don't like supremacy for the most part, whether it be Christian supremacy or Jewish supremacy. One you're allowed to talk about and one you're completely not allowed to talk about. But I don't like either one of them. I don't like, or racial supremacy and stuff. And that's why Hitler, was obviously trying to create a master race and stuff. And, anyway, we don't have to go on about how bad Hitler was. Most people agree that Hitler was bad, typically. That's why it's just, as a performance, as a piece of performance art, strictly, because if you look at Ye as an artist, as a piece of performance art, what he did today was very interesting because he came out and said the most, I don't even know whether offensive is the word, taboo. He went out there and said the most taboo thing you can possibly say, the most taboo thing you can possibly do. I would say it's probably denying the Holocaust. It's probably the most taboo thing you can do, probably, considering, who you're going to piss off and stuff for doing that. It's probably the most taboo thing you can do. Very close, and I would have an argument, is denying that any children died at Sandy Hook. Very close to being the next taboos. So that would have been, if I were directing Ye in this piece of performance art, I would have told him to throw in some extra, even more crazy stuff. Also, he should also have gone on to say, oh, and by the way, I think you were totally right about Sandy Hook, and also we didn't go to the moon, and the CIA killed JFK, and whatever, just everything. And also he could go on and start talking about 9/11. You know, that would be if he had revealed more, because he's revealed, you know, he's on a mission to reveal the secrets of the Jays, but he could reveal some other secrets too, as long as he's saying stuff you can't say. Like, it's a funny exercise, really, if you think to yourself, oh, I'm allowed to say anything. That's what I had to wonder when Elon Musk took over Twitter and he said he wasn't going to censor people anymore. I thought to myself, wait a minute. I just started talking about 9/11 right away. It's like, what would I say if I could literally say anything? Because that's where it is, supposedly, with Twitter. They'll just shadow ban you. But you're supposedly on Twitter, you could say, for example, and this is just an example. So you could say, like, the Jays did 9/11, I think. Like, you could say that. I've tested various things on Twitter. I think I say with some confidence, you can say that. It might get shadow banned, but I don't even know. So you can say stuff like that. And then Holocaust denial has always been one of those weird subjects where it was allowed on Facebook for a long time to deny the Holocaust. Like, Zuckerberg made a point about it. He said, oh yeah, you can deny the Holocaust on, the original. So actually an interesting part of history. You know how the whole internet is censored, right? And how Google search is censored. The origin of the censorship of the internet and natural Google search results. And you guys can look this up. Don't take my word for it. But the origin of it, when it all started, when they started monkeying with Google search results, it was because of the Holocaust. It was because when people would search for information about the Holocaust, they would get websites like saying it was a hoax, or saying that, Holocaust denial websites would come up first in the search results, or very high up, and because people were clicking on it. So that was it was basically the original reason for Google to start screwing around with search results, and then from there it spread. So I mean, actually, it is like a lesson in free speech. The free speech, when it comes down to it, comes down to like whether or not you can deny the Holocaust, kind of. I mean, sort of. Because that's the ultimate thing. So again, as a piece of performance art, it is that makes an interesting way to look at it. I'll play this. So this is where he said it. And once again, I'm just playing this for people's edification, so people can see it.
Okay. Do you know about Hitler and his coming man?
No, I don't know about that. But we have to.
Well, I just think you should not want to be Hitler's coming man.
I didn't say I was. I don't really care that much about Hitler. I love him. Seems like
you just do it as a way to like troll.
No, he seems like a cool guy. It's like he it's like he had a really cool outfit and stuff, and he was a really good architect. And
so you're in love with the look of it.
And he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just like factually incorrect.
Guys, get the Ronald Reagan clip they showed me yesterday. Sorry, go ahead. Ronald Reagan said that too. Well, I think Hitler did target and kill some people. So I think
I think Obama killed Palestinians.
No, I hear you. Here's where I think the frustration is. And Nick, you can comment on this.
And Obama was not the first black president. He was another Jewish president.
Americans are tired of hearing that we're Hitler and that we did bad things when we defeated Hitler. And that's my biggest beef.
Let's not say his name anymore. Only say Christ's name moving forward.
I agree. But I'm tired of hearing I'm a Nazi. I'm really, because I'm not. But I think by them falsely accusing people, some people are going to become Nazis.
I am. Now what? I am.
You're
now
what?
Now I'm a Nazi, Ari Emanuel. Isn't that what it said?
There, she said, I am a Nazi. He said, I am a Nazi, Ari Emanuel. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, okay, we played it, but obviously it's wrong to say all that stuff. I said it was wrong. Yeah, it's wrong to say that stuff. So, I mean, that's the only way I can say it on YouTube. I can't say anything about it except to say that it's wrong to say that. And it's very offensive to certainly to some people. And it's crazy to say it. You have to be kind of crazy to say it, to not realize that that's going to get you in a lot of trouble. So, and he said it, you know, kind of over and over and over again, like he would just double down. And then here's another instance of him saying, yes, I love Hitler. And then he claimed that he's autistic. So this is a new claim. And I don't know if he's been watching my show or something, using the autism defense. But he's now claiming to be autistic for some reason, even though he denied the bipolar, which I think actually is a thing. Now he's embracing being on the spectrum, apparently. So let me play that. This is where he says, I love Hitler.
So if I say I love the Zionists that cancel my account, then I can say I did not consent. I do love Hitler. I do love the Zionists. I love everyone. The Zionists cannot tell me who I can love and not love. I don't think like that. I think more like someone that's on the spectrum. Since that's what they want to claim, well, let me be on the spectrum of love, because love.
But that's a good T-shirt. I love Hitler.
That's a bar.
So if I say I love the Zionists,
and there's Ollie Alexander in the picture, and then Owen Schroyer's kind of like, what's going on? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what all to say about it. He claims to be on the spectrum. I mentioned this earlier in my thing. I also claim to be on the spectrum, but that's because I have a lot of the features of autism. The only thing, I don't know if he's autistic. Autistic people have trouble making eye contact, have trouble with social situations, making small talk. They have trouble. They don't like change much. They kind of generally stick to a routine. Often can be a little eccentric. And then the only thing about it is it's true that autistic people don't understand the impact of their behavior sometimes. So it's possible that he's autistic, but I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at identifying autism in people, and not bad at identifying people who are bipolar too. And I don't know about the autistic. I don't know if autistic people are going to claim yay, but I can understand. Autists are into statistics and numbers and things. And if he was talking about how he's autistic and he started looking into the statistics about Jewish people or something, don't know. So, but that is one of the claims. And he said in that clip, he said, I love Hitler. He said, so, crazy. Such a crazy moment. And then, what's her name? Laura Loomer called in and she said she supports Kanye, regardless of what he's saying about Hitler and stuff. What are some of the headlines? There was already bad news. Oh, something that happened not as a result of today, but apparently it already happened, was that Parler, Ye was going to buy Parler, and the deal isn't happening anymore. Maybe as a result of, Ye's controversial views and stuff. See, now I don't know who can associate with Ye anymore. So I'm kind of worried about Ye. Like, I don't know who's going to associate with him, who's going to steer him in the right direction. Because right now he's hanging out with two guys that are probably just telling him what he wants to hear, which is that he could be president, that he can win, that all he has to do is say that he loves Jesus and that he can say anything, and that everybody's ready to hear about how the Jews run everything. I mean, if people are really telling him that, I mean, what do you say after an appearance like that, where he's wearing that hood the whole time? I don't know. What do you guys think? Ryan says, I back him because he speaks the truth. See, I see people say that, but what do you mean he speaks the truth? If you mean he speaks the truth in that you mean you agree that Hitler was a good guy, then that's weird to me. So specifically, what do you mean about the truth? Because yes, obviously he's telling the truth about some things, but there are things he's saying that I don't know. I mean, are super controversial, and I would argue not really true. Although, how do you say it's true? He likes Hitler. Oh, he likes Hitler, but Hitler wasn't a good guy. So if that's what you mean. Jared Boards says Kanye is right and Nathan is a J. Yeah, I wish I was, in a way. I have a name that some people associate with J's. Some people assume I'm J-ish because of my name, Nathan Stoltman. But it's not. It's actually not. But if I was, yeah, maybe I'd have some special. Yeah, I would have had my bar mitzvah and stuff. Like I would have gotten hooked up maybe at some point. Would have gotten it. I did once. Somebody asked me at an audition if I was Jewish, and I said no. And then they didn't give me the job. So I never know. Maybe if I was, maybe I'd be famous in Hollywood or something if I was. Or maybe it'd all be the same. Who knows? Curious what you people think, but I don't know. I hate the idea of censorship. Yeah, I've been doing well so far on YouTube. Oh, one thing that what Ye said was he basically defended Balenciaga, but I don't have that clip. I'd have to try to find it. It was a 3-hour stream and there's no easy way to clip it. But Balenciaga did come up and Ye basically said that everybody needs to shut up and that everybody's a pervert anyway. And that that everybody's freaking out over nothing, that whoever it was, somebody set Balenciaga up basically, and that Balenciaga's not to blame and people need to shut up because they're all perverts too. Something like that, basically. I'll have to get a clip of it and share it with people because people are really concerned about Balenciaga. So that's been the news. I mean, the news has been Balenciaga, and then Ye is so intricately tied in with Balenciaga because he's friends with the creative director of Balenciaga, Demna Gvasalia, who's into face masks and stuff, So the whole face mask thing came from the creative director of Balenciaga, who's into face masks. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm thinking about people calling in and people saying they agree with Kanye, and then thinking about whether that's going to make YouTube say that they have to take down the video or not, even if I disagree. See, people have been allowed to host Ye. If he was on Tim Pool and he said that stuff, would they leave it up? I mean, I really don't know. I know they treat commoners like me differently than famous people like Tim Pool or Jimmy Dore, who have special YouTube handlers and stuff that look at their content and actually think about it and don't want to ban them and then monetize everything too. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand how YouTube works. How are these people monetized? I don't know what I say that's so controversial that every single video has to be demonetized. Because why would YouTube ever promote my videos if it's always like that? You know? Then how do other people do it? I have no idea. I'm having a debate in my head right now about whether to open the phone, whether to give you guys some more news. Marjorie Taylor Greene denounced Nick Fuentes. And Marjorie Taylor Greene had spoken before at a Nick Fuentes event. So everybody's running the other direction. Ben Shapiro says that Ye is mentally ill. Oh, here's the thing about controlled opposition. Ye brought on a net. He had a net and a bottle of Yoo-hoo. And then he was doing a Netanyahu impression of some sort with his net and his Yoo-hoo. So Jack Posobiec posted this, which is the fake Tiki Torch protesters. The fake Tiki Torch protesters, and saying that, I don't know, it's something to do with controlled opposition, basically. Somehow saying that what Ye did was controlled opposition. And then it in the sense that it makes conservatives look bad and it makes Tucker Carlson look bad and it makes everybody affiliate, everybody who talked, it makes a lot of people look bad. So that is a feature of being controlled opposition. And then Nick Fuentes before, he has said he's come out against the Republican Party before. Both Nick Fuentes and Milo are opposed to the Republican Party. So are they motivated by making Republicans look good or by making them look bad? So, and what is the result of Ye coming on Alex's show today? What's going to be the final result for Alex? So we'll have to see. But bring everybody back. Let it all happen. That's the important thing. I'll check my Buy Me a Coffees. You can support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And I'll check to see if anybody left one for me. Thanks, Laura. Got a coffee, who said Candace Owens did a story on 3 crypto guys now dead. You reported on it the first time. Also, Aaron Carter's last tweet was reaching out to Ye, and then he was dead in a bathtub. Quite a few people not making it out of the bathroom. Thanks, Laura. Yes, Candace Owens was reporting on something I reported on a few times, which is that there was a crypto guy who died after tweeting out that he'd found a child sex trafficking ring going on in the Bahamas or in the Caribbean. So that did really happen. And then, yes, Aaron Carter had reached out to Ye. What do you guys think? I mean, it's getting closer to where I could really get Ye on the show. I mean, but I don't know. First, I don't think I would push back too. I mean, Alex did push back a little bit, but I would too. I'd just be like, oh, come on. Really? Like, are you just joking about this Hitler thing? That's what I would say. Are you serious? Like, have you really looked into it? I don't know. I don't think I would push back. 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 I don't think I would push back because he wants to be as controversial as possible. So it's hard to necessarily even totally believe him when he says that stuff. Like he's trying to be extra controversial. Thanks, Laura, for the coffee. Thanks, Rip the Veil, who says, I appreciate your time and attention to the details. Thank you. And that's it. And you guys can leave me a coffee by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And someone else just did, who says, who names the viruses? Oh, yeah, the WHO. Why? Oh, I don't know if I can read this because, let's see. Okay. I will read it. I will read it because it's hard to understand. Who names the viruses? Oh, yeah, the WHO. Why is it corona? I looked it up on dictionary.com. Also, many brainwave variants. MK testing getting called out. I think Delta, Beta, etc. BA1, BA2, BA3, BA4, BA5. First cloned animal, Dolly the sheep. Sheep says bah. Possibly biased algorithms. Does anyone care? Pretty sure something is going on. If, and this is in all caps, if they are trying to call it out, why can't we just say it like this? And then it's back to regular. Frank investigated MK Ultra. No one could address it. He was bioweapons engineer. Variant interesting. Variant interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I didn't understand it, but it is. I appreciate you dropping me a coffee nonetheless. All right. I will see if there's any other news I wanted to play for you guys. I told you guys, it sounds like Twitter isn't going to be kicked out of the App Store. Elon is trying to turn. Oh, this is a great clip. This is a great clip of Nick. That's worth playing a few times. This is Nick Fuentes talking about having sex with girls. Okay.
What, people calling me gay because I've never had a girlfriend? I think if anything, it makes me less gay. If anything, it makes me not gay, as opposed to less gay. Not that there's any gay, but it makes me not gay. Well, because think about it this way. You know, a gay person, gay people do date girls all the time. Real. And when I said on Elijah Schaefer's show, and they said, have you ever been in a romantic relationship? Have you ever had sex with a girl? And I said, no. If you name searched me on Twitter, as I always do, all these gay people are coming out and saying, I've had more girlfriends than Nick. I've had sex with more girls than Nick. So like I said last week, not only is that thinking flawed, but actually it's the reverse. That actually makes me really more heterosexual than anybody. If we're really being honest, never having a girlfriend, never having sex with a woman really makes you more heterosexual, because honestly, dating women is gay. Having sex with women is gay. And having sex with men is gay. And you know, it's all gay. And if you want to know the truth, the only really straight heterosexual position is to be an asexual incel. That's it. So that's all there is. Being a MGTOW asexual incel is really the straightest position that you can have. Having sex in itself is gay, I think. I think that it's really a gay act to begin with. Think about it this way. What's gayer than being like, I need cuddles, I need kisses, I need so it's all very sus to me, you know. I need to spend time with a woman. That's a little sus. It's a little bit sus. So I think really, I'm like, the straightest guy.
So funny. I mean, he is just super funny. I wanted to show you guys where Ye got his style for today's performance because it ties to Balenciaga. So I'll show you, he was wearing that hood, right? So here's Demna Gvasalia, the creative director at Balenciaga, dressed with Kim, who went with Kim Kardashian to the Met Ball. And they were both dressed like this, both with their faces totally covered, and Kim with something over her face. So there they are again. So that's where Ye got the style. And there's Kim wearing a full mask of some sort with Demna Gvasalia, the guy that's the creative director at Balenciaga, who also got Balenciaga hooked up with these celebrities. Before Balenciaga got hooked up with celebrities, they were known for being kind of like an untouchable fashion house. But then they started hooking up with celebrities, and that was all done kind of with Demna. So we still don't know exactly what the whole story is with the Balenciaga thing, or who or why they placed that document there, or the books for that matter. But all right. I will take phone calls. I will take phone calls for people who want to call in, but I'm going to have to do it on Rockfin because I just don't trust people. I want to be able to speak more freely. So because of censorship on YouTube, I'm going to leave it at that and go over to Rockfin and DLive, where I can take some phone calls for anybody who wants to call in. Okay. So that's it for now. The show is at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. And thanks over on Rockfin. Thanks, Bill Carson, for the tip. And thanks, Jacob's Ladder, for the tip. All right. So I'll go over to Rockfin and take phone calls. Okay. I would stay on YouTube, but I don't want to be paranoid. So I already said all I need to say. I said I condemn anti-Semitism. I stand with Jewish people. So, and I played what I played for educational purposes only. Yada, yada, yada. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And I'll leave a link. People are leaving a link to rockfin.com/lifttheveil or dlive.tv/lifttheveil. And I'll open up the phone just in case anybody wants to call in and talk about it. All right. So thanks for now. That's what it is. Okay. Now I'll open the phone.